Hello and welcome to the first of our videos for the 2023 season. BSCDA TV are here at the Autsport International Show at the NEC, and I've got Sophie Clark with me. Sophie, so we're sat on the BSCDA stand. It looks very, very busy on Sunday morning.
It has been incredibly busy. I can't believe yesterday it was just constant stream of people. The queues to get in, I've never seen it like this, so it's brilliant.
So in terms of the stand and the people that are coming to the stand, is it oval people or is it?
No. Yesterday was bizarre because we hardly saw any oval racing people, which is always lovely to see oval racing people, but the crowds we were getting had never seen a stock car. Many people had seen it on Top Gear, so we've got the Freddie Flintoff car here, and that's been such a draw because we had queues of children. You know, all they wanted to do was sit in it, have the photo, and it's been brilliant. We've been talking to a different group of people, and it's really refreshing, really good.
Because in terms of like coming to the NEC, there's always kind of a question mark around, is it worth it? In terms of, because you know, we want to come here, promote stock cars and try and draw a new audience in, but clearly it's working because the amount of people that we can see sitting here now just looking at that car.
I know, it's incredible. We've worked hard on the stand and we've got a brilliant selection of cars. So we've got the Freddie one and we've got Top Gear clips and videos playing in the background. So that's a draw. We've got a brand new Frankie Wayman shale car, which is just beyond belief. It's incredible. We've got the two-seater of Neil Fitton, so that's an explanation. You can come along for a passenger ride. And then, of course, we've got Charlie Sawdust's World Championship car. So we've got a great selection, and I feel it's worked really well.
So you know, over the last couple of days, have people been asking about stock cars? Have they been kind of going, I saw it on television?
Yes. They've seen Top Gear, or they've seen it at Bellevue or places like that years ago. So that's always a good crowd to get into. You know, I watched these in the 70s, as if they're still going. We are still going, and here's a fixture list, and come and see us. You know, and we've been seeing different people. You know, we saw a lot of Londoners yesterday. You know, and trying to explain nearest track and people from the Bradford area. You know, and explaining Oddsal's back open, and it's just really brilliant. You know, we're hoping, you know, we'll give out thousands of fixture lists, so you can't tell me that's not worth it.
No, absolutely not, absolutely not. And I think in terms of the stand itself, you know, I've walked in with you this morning and kind of went, this looks very impressive. It looks a very professional look. You know what it is? It's stock cars. You can see it's stock cars. It's branded as stock cars. But you know, it's an incredible stand.
I'm really chuffed. It's been a lot of work. We've had a team. Frankie and Phoebe have been brilliant. Ian Bannister's done all the graphics for the backboards. Frankie's made all the posts and everything. The input, this has taken months of planning. You know, we don't just throw it together. I got a vision with the Charlie car, and I wasn't sure, myself and Guy spoke about it, and we weren't sure if people would get it. We wanted to follow the Daytona 500, you know, where the car comes off the track, covered in confetti, and it's in the museum for a year. We're not stealing it for a year, I haven't told Charlie that. But yeah, Charlie and Ted and Phoebe were on the confetti cannons on Friday night, and I think it works really well.
Good, so do I. It's really good, it's really good. So all in all, you know, we're on Sunday morning, but certainly a success. I mean, like, I'm just looking over there now, there's two kids climbing in the car. It's, you know, you only need to convert like a percentage to get those people through the gate, so absolutely seems a success. So.
Yeah, we wanted to focus on the children because obviously they're the ones that are going to go home and say, when can we go and watch it? So we've seen children get in that car in so many different ways, it's incredible. But they're having a blast. So they go and sit in the car, and then we send them over here where we're sat. We've got Charlie signing autographs, we've got Frank signing autographs, and they love it. They absolutely love it. So
I know stock cars is always like an amateur sport, but it just does feel really professional today.
Well, thank you. I'll take that.
Good. Cheers, Sophie. Thank you. We're now going to talk to Frank Raymond Jr. about his new shell car for the 2023 season. Frankie, we're going to talk to you about your new shell car for this season. We came to your farm this time last year, and it was kind of there. We had a conversation. You're like, planning to get it out at some point this year. Obviously, didn't happen. Was that just because racing took over?
Yeah, totally. I just never had the time to finish it, and to finish them to this sort of standard, how I wanted it, I wasn't going to rush it. The old car was still doing all the stuff I wanted it to. Obviously, this was built before the Tesla's cars. obviously theirs are the same. So
So that's my question. So you built the 3 pretty much at the same time, and is this very similar to theirs?
Yeah, they're exactly the same. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And have you kind of like done anything? You've built a few cars in your time. Yeah, I think so. There's a rumour that you're quite good, but you know, like you built Teslas, and they've been like really successful in theirs. Is this kind of, have you done anything different to this one?
Yeah, there's a lot of brackets on this for me to play with and still work with, because it's an unknown art. The suspension on stock cars, it's always changing. There's not one thing that works. One thing works 1 month, month after it doesn't. Everybody's always chasing that last little bit. So we've got a lot of stuff on this that we want to play with, stuff I want to try. Yelly and Neil's had a lot of stuff on theirs that they wanted, you know, to work. Obviously they worked on the dirt fields in Holland. So but this one, I'm looking forward to it.
So people might be watching this game, but Frank's been about for ages. He must know how to set a car up on shale.
But it doesn't work like that. No. I mean, the suspension on this, I tried it a lot of years ago. But it's slightly different on the link. So it's everything. There's so many different options. But until you try them, you'll never know.
So in terms of the colour scheme, it looks stunning. I mean, it's very similar colours to what you've kind of...
I mean, obviously I always have my blues and my purples. That's what I have, and obviously we were trying to get it to this show. You know, I wanted, obviously off the Top Gear thing, we've got Freddie's car, he wanted to push all that side of it. You know, it's been a big effort to get it, I've got to be honest, and do the stand and everything, but you've got to hit everything. While we have the Top Gear opportunity, you've got to take it.
Come to that in a minute. So you know that we spoke at the Hednesford shootout around November time, and then we're now in January. So have you had a break, or has it just been like, right, I'm on?
Absolutely manic. The decision was made not to go to New Zealand, so we'll do the NEC. We'll get all the cars ready for the NEC. Totally strip Phoebe's back to nothing. That was a roll cage a few weeks ago. So we've just been, and then obviously the New Zealand thing's come on board now, and it's absolutely dropped us in it because we're just so far behind with work stuff. But we're just going to catch up when we get back. So.
It's car's brilliant. So in terms of like, you know, the Top Gear piece and the Freddie piece, because that was you played a huge part in that. So not only did you have World Final, shootout, a million cars to get ready, you've also done kind of the Freddie Flintoff piece. And all credit to you.
That's been on the back boiler for a lot of years. But you know, when they wanted to film, we just had to film. The opportunity was just too good to miss. You know, to work with Freddie and everything that was there, and what we got out of it, absolutely superb. You'd never pay for that sort of advertising in the sport. You know, it's lifted the sport to a level where other people have seen it, which might not have done, and that's really important.
I mean, you've been here 4 days. I mean, I'm guessing people have been going, "You're the man off the telly."
It's exactly what you get, and it is. And you know, they watch Top Gear, and it's like they look all right, and then now they're seeing him in the flesh. They're sitting in Freddie's car. The looks on the faces, and it all works, you know. And some of them people will come and watch. They will look at a fixture list, and they'll come and watch a meeting.
And the stand itself, I mean, like, you know, as I walked in here, it looks very professional. It looks like we know what we're doing, and it's like, right, come and see this. But you've played a huge part in this, though. Sophie says you play, you know.
Me and Sophie sort of designed it all, come up with it all, and then I built all of the staging and everything. And we had an idea what we wanted. But because it's something we've never done, it was like, we'll go with that. And when we all put it up on Friday night, it just all worked, and it was absolutely, it's exactly what we wanted it to be. You know, I hope people sort of see it and have the same view.
Are you like proud of what you know? Because like the thing is, you know, like
100%. You know what I mean? But obviously my car was going to be on here, so I wanted to get involved with getting it all right and looking good. You know what I mean? When people come to a show and they see something and it catches their eye, they go and look at it, and that's why I wanted all this to stand out and like jump out at you. That's what we wanted. Get them in. Freddie Flintoff, that's Freddie Flintoff's car. Do you know what I mean? And they can sit in it, they like, and it draws them in. Then they start looking around, they're talking to people. Charlie's here signing autographs. It all works. The kids are talking to them, and it's been brilliant. It's been really good.
I think that was the thing, wasn't it? People were going, right, brilliant, you've got on Top Gear, now what are you going to do? And it's like, well,
exactly.
Hang on a minute, look at this.
You've got to back up everything you can, you really have.
You talked about New Zealand.
Yes.
You weren't going, but you are going.
Yes.
When did you go?
Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got 1 day at home, and I haven't even thought about it. I've got to be totally honest. We've got me and Frankie going, obviously. I've got all this stuff to put away, everything to get out of the way, stuff to get organised. I haven't even thought about it.
You need a bigger clock.
The decision was reluctantly taken not to go this year.
Yeah.
We didn't have any drivers put their name forward, but we've got a lot of people put a lot of money in New Zealand, cars, backing us for this year. And me and Guy got together and said, look, these sponsors and people, they're putting the hearts and everything into what we do. They want us to go. And, you know, I made a call to Yelly, who had shown interest in going, to see if him and Niels would come to make up a 5-man team. You know what I mean? I've read loads of stuff on the internet about the team, and I get this every year. It really pisses me off. We had 3 names this year, me, Charlie and Frankie. And Charlie wasn't particularly going to do the teams. He was going to do the 240s, watch the teams, and then maybe go for next year. So that was me and Frankie. With 2 people. We've got a 6-man team. So we have 2 names. You see it all on the internet, why you need it? Nobody wanted to do it. So obviously we were lucky enough that Yelly and Niels did want to go. And I think we've got a really good, strong team. And that's when I made the decision then with Guy, I said, I'd definitely have a proper go with that team. So, and that's what we're trying to do.
I think there's a bit of confusion. I think confusion on people's part is that maybe people think, well, whoever's in charge of stock cars chooses people to go, and it's not like that, because it's a huge cost financially,
massive.
time, and not everybody can commit to that. Like Lee normally goes, doesn't he? But
he just can't afford it. And we're the same, you know what I mean? It's just, but I don't know how many more years I'm going to be doing it, so I do want to do it, and I still do well at it, so I do want to do it. But the choosing of the drivers and all that is a big art. It's not your fastest men. It's not your men who can put people in the wall. Anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. I watch all season for the drivers that can take a proper hit and then carry on. They come out that wall and they carry on. There's no point playing dead and then missing the rest of the meeting and all that. They've got to carry on. Whether they're hurt or not, they carry on. They're the drivers you want in a team. When you pick your teams in New Zealand, some of the drivers that are in there, people are like, he's never won anything. You don't have to win anything. You have to be able to read a race, take a good hit. Like I said, anybody can give a hit. Any idiot can jump in one of these and follow somebody in the wall. It's so easy. But being followed into that wall, then come back out that wall and race again, that's the art. And there's very few can do that, very few.
Because it is a very different type of race, isn't it? And when I was speaking to Charlie, he was kind of going, I'm quite nervous about it actually, because it's something that's very different.
It needs to be. But we've been through it all with Charlie. He's watched a lot of videos. Obviously, Niels and Yelly are the same. You know, unfortunately, there's only me and Frankie that have done it before, which is kind of hard. We're trying, like I said, Lee, but he just couldn't afford it. I mean, we can't afford to go. We just can't. But how many more years can we put it off? We've got sponsors. We're kind of, I mean, we kept getting the promoters ringing up from over there. We want you there, we want you there. And guys like we're physically struggling for drivers.
I guess for people in New Zealand as well, you're a big draw.
Absolutely love it. They absolutely love it. Obviously, we've missed a couple of years as well now, and we didn't want to do another. We didn't want to miss another one. So you know, we're not throwing everything at it, but we've got 5 real good cars, and that's not normal for us, really. You know, I'm going to name Dave Riley. He's put a lot in. You know, he's put a couple of cars up there at his own cost. Absolutely super. Do you know what I mean? I don't know the thinking behind it, or why. But and obviously people in New Zealand, we've got good cars off them. But Dave has put a lot in. He's over there now sorting a couple of cars off. And he loves it, and he wants us to be there. And when you've got people who are willing to put that sort of effort in, you know, I feel obliged to try and put myself forward to do it. So.
Good. So New Zealand sounds fantastic, and then we're not long after that, we're into 2023 at Kings Lynn, 18th of March.
Yes, that's months away.
You've got a bigger clock. We've talked about that before. I'm saying clock. So have you got much to do? Because like last year, you did the Tesla's cars. Have you got much kind of like customer work?
Some more to do for Teslas, and we're a bit behind with the work stuff because we've got all this ready for now, and then we were jumping straight on that instead of going to New Zealand for 3 weeks. So as soon as we get back, it's going to be manic. But on the plus side of it, a lot of the cars we've got are now ready. This one needs an engine in it, a proper engine in it, but obviously they're nearly ready. So that side of it, you know, we've got some of the good ones done, so
And looking at 2023, I mean, you're up there in 2022, you know, World Final very close, shootout, you're up there. Is it just same again?
Same again, obviously. do a bit of work at Northampton.
Yep.
You know, get this dialed in. Hopefully, you know, for a good weekend. It's going to be an awesome weekend there. You know, 3 days.
And Northampton in particular, like, you know, listening to what Dean Wood's kind of putting out there, it's going to become a massive stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? He's got a lot of plans, a lot of stuff happening. You know, we've got to back him, get the cars there, get the racing there. I think it'll be good. Yeah, I do.
You all right? Sorry. So we've got World Final, which you kind of clearly got your eye on. You know, you got Phoebe and Frankie as well.
Yeah.
You kind of, I guess, similar seasons for them as last year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're getting everything together. Obviously, Frankie's we're going to redo his shell car a little bit. His tarmac car's done now. Phoebe's car's all done. We'd like to get Phoebe's new tarmac car done if we can find an engine for it. But
you said that last year as well.
I know. But she does so well with that one, and obviously to get another engine and all the running gear together, we just haven't got that expense at the minute. So obviously, you know, something has to give a little bit somewhere along the line. I try not to, but something has got to give somewhere.
And at the minute, you need to win the World Final in this, don't you?
Yeah. Hey, listen. That after last year's, I mean, I wanted to be involved last year. I wasn't going there to make the numbers up. I said that, whether people believe me or not, and it was an awesome race. A car blew up in front of me, ended up going out and setting off again. That's stock car racing. That's exact. But I was there. I was involved with every part of it, and that was a buzz for me. People was talking about it. They were talking to me about it, and that's what keeps me going. Do you know what I mean? I absolutely loved it.
Good. The car looks fantastic, and I think, you know, whenever yourself, Tom, Ryan bring out a new car, there's a huge kind of interest as well as
every time, and obviously, and that's good. You know, the anticipation. I was on Facebook Friday or Thursday we came down, just seeing Frank's new Transporter as a new car. I had people texting me to see if they could have a look at it, and I'm like, it'll be at the show. Come to the show, you know what I mean? But that's part of it, you know what I mean? They love seeing different stuff. It's not so different, this one, but obviously I wanted it to be nice and I want it to be fast, so that's what it's been built for.
Fingers crossed. And then I remember, you know, when you brought the shell car out.
Oh, don't.
I know, but everybody keeps saying this to you, don't they?
Yeah, everybody. I mean, it doesn't happen.
No.
You don't come out when you finally a new car. It doesn't happen.
If you do, have that dream. When you sleep on that plane to New Zealand.
Every driver does. Every driver does. I've had it for years, and that Kings Lynn, something just clicked right, and it happened. I'd never driven that car. No. That was the weirdest part about it. I just went out there, and straight away when I set off, I was like, yeah, this feels really good. But then, obviously, this one, I'm hoping to go for a run at Kings Lynn with it before the season. So I say I've got a lot of stuff I want to play with. So
Okay. And just last question, the shell car was very successful. Has that kind of gone to a new owner?
That's been sold on.
That's good. That's it. I like it. Listen, have a nice day off tomorrow. Tomorrow, and then go to New Zealand. Good luck in the teams.
Yeah, we'll contact you from over there.
And we'll see you at Kings Lynn in not very long time. Not very long. It's not very long. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Cheers.
Sam, I thought we'd talk to you because we've spoken to Frankie about his brand new shell car, how busy it is, and it was just to kind of get a different perspective of how busy things have been over the last few months. And almost since the World Final, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the whole Freddie thing started.
It's been the whole year, to be fair. It's like, it's always bonkers. You know, there's never any time to do anything other than something that's race related. You know, so even when people think like we've got nothing to do over the winter, but it seems to have got even busier since the race has finished. You know.
So so in terms of his shell car, when did he go, right, I'm having that done for the Autosport show? Did he ever kind of mention it, or was it just?
It kind of. Half the time I don't know what's going on because it's just everything's always so full on, and like me and Frank are a bit like ships passing each other in the night a lot of the time. You know, I've usually gone to bed, and then I get up for work, and so we don't really, we come to see him at tea time. He comes in for his tea, and but then it's always it's just crazy.
It must be great for you though to come here this weekend. You've got Frankie, Phoebe in the show, and then you've got Frankie's car in here. It's like, actually, we've done all of this.
Yeah, we always enjoy this weekend, and it's hard work, but it's good. And it's nice to see people, and the show. We've been in to see the show, and that's the F1's look brilliant. So.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. We were talking to Frankie about the Top Gear effect, and kind of going, is it going to have an effect? And from what we've seen this weekend, it's huge.
I think having the car that Freddie used here on the stand, and TV coverage. You know, I think it's made a lot of people stop and have a look, and so hopefully, you know, you never know, might bring more people through the turnstiles.
I think it will. So it doesn't end there, right? Because like tomorrow you've got a day off, and then Tuesday you go to New Zealand.
Yeah.
But you're looking forward to that a lot, I'm guessing.
It's all been a little bit last minute. I think we only booked the flights probably 10 days ago. And before then it was kind of, are we, aren't we, you know what I mean? So you just got to kind of be married to Frank. You've just got to be ready when he says go, you know what I mean? It's everything's like the drop of a hat sort of thing. But obviously my brother and his family live out there, so you know, it's kind of, why wouldn't I want to go? You know,
of course.
As well as the racing's fantastic. So
And then you come back, and then March we kind of go again.
Yeah, in between awards, I think we've got another award night, the boss do, and before you know it, and it's like we've never been away. You know, that sort of like out of season when, you know, from November to March. It's just so full on all the time. It's like you're never away from it, to be fair.
Because I think from a fan's perspective, fans kind of go to the last meeting and then they go, right, I'll go to the first meeting, and they've got sort of 5 months off. And I guess that's kind of quite interesting talking to you and kind of going, what is it like? You don't have a close season, do you? It's
just one big season, and it just rolls into one. It just keeps going, you know, and going and going and going. Before you know it, you know, 20, 30 years have passed.
Yeah.
You know,
You still go stock cars?
Yeah.
So what do you think of a shell car before I let you go?
I really like it. Looks good, you know, a few people talking about it and showed a bit of interest, so let's just hope it goes well, which I'm sure it will.
And you're not just watching Frank, you've got Phoebe and Frankie JJ as well. Kind of what are your hopes for this year for the three of them, I suppose? Have you got any, have you kind of gone, I'd really like one?
Well, you know, I just want them to enjoy what they're doing, and obviously stay safe. You know, and if you get a few wins in, it's always a bonus, isn't it? You know, just enjoy it. You know, it's not always about winning everything, but it's, you know, like I said, it's a bonus when you do. So.
Well, you say you need to enjoy it because it's a huge part of your life. So if you don't enjoy it, it's like
hopefully. Hope that young Frankie has a bit of a better season, because he just seems to have rotten luck all year, you know what I mean, or last year. So it would be nice to see him, you know, do a little bit, have a better season. And, you know, Frank's Frank, he just keeps going, and I don't think he's ready to hang up the helmet yet. So
he very much wants to win stuff. He very much wants to win stuff. Listen, thank you for talking to me. Have a great time in New Zealand.
Thank you.
I'll see you at Kingston, I'm sure, on the 18th.
And
the 18th of March.
Is that when it is?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Should see you there.
Thank you very much. So we're on the BSCDA stand with world champion Charlie Sorda. Charlie, good morning.
Good morning.
This is very busy.
Yeah, it has been all weekend, to be fair. Sophie and the team have done a great job, obviously, of all the setup. Got a few good cars here, and it's just been really good. We've had a lot of interest in all the cars, and the Freddie car especially, so it's doing good for the sport.
Have you been busy yourself? I'm guessing you're doing live action, you've come over here and you're signing autographs.
Yeah, so obviously I'm sharing Dad's car, so we're doing a bit of both, so I'm not having to do every show, but I'm just doing the ones that can sort of fit in, and then just here trying to please the fans and sign some autographs to the kids and just try and have a good time, really.
When I was talking to Sophie, she was saying there's been loads of people that have come here that are not Oval fans, that have seen the sport on Top Gear, and just the kids especially.
That's the most important thing, really. Obviously, with things like NEC, it's an opportunity to be able to reach out to the people who aren't Oval fans and see if we can bring them in. So obviously with this setup, I think we've got one of the best setups here this year, personally, in my opinion. So to have that, obviously, it's something good for our sport. So
When you come to a show like this, you've got Frank's car over there, beautiful, like shiny, and then we've done this with yours, and it's like, it looks brilliant. I think it's really effective.
Yeah, well, obviously we wanted to do it like it was in Victory Lane. It was a bit of an idea between me, Dad, and Sophie and Guy, and we sort of said to them, should we just leave it? And they were like, yeah, go on, man. And then after, me and Dad were a bit like, oh, I don't know actually, I don't know if it's a good idea. And then obviously now, I think personally it looks unreal. So
it's really good. Really
it's come out well.
So, world champion. It's been like a bit of a whirlwind few months, and are you kind of getting used to this, like almost celebrity status?
Yeah, getting there slowly. Obviously, like, didn't really expect, obviously, the world to go in our favour. So obviously it was nice, and just taking it all in, really, just enjoying it, if I'm honest. So,
good. It's the most important thing. So 2023 is not far away. What kind of plans have you got? Obviously, you've shown the gold roof off, I guess, but
yeah, just carry on, really. Just do what I've done this year. Just try and win every race I go in, and obviously, it's Worlds at Northampton this year. It's one of my best tracks, so it'd be nice to retain it, but we'll see what we can do.
So, Worlds on shale. You've been using your dad's shale car.
Yeah.
How's that going to work?
We have got a new one coming that is going to be pretty much the same as dad's.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be ready for the start of the season. We're not quite sure yet, but I go to New Zealand on Tuesday.
Yes.
So that takes a month out. But listen, we'll try and be there eventually.
Yeah. So is it a car you guys are building yourself, or is it?
Yeah, so my mechanic, Carl Gilbert, he's built a few cars before.
Yeah.
And he's doing this one, he's copying it off Dad's one already.
Yeah.
And then Dad's just throwing a few little ideas in, and then I'm just making sure everything's in the positions I want it to be. And it's nice, I've never had a car built just for me.
Yeah.
So literally everything I can say, I want this here, I want this here, it's not, I've never really had that. So yeah.
Well, people say that's really important, because they're not the most comfortable of things to sit in, and to have a car that fits you is quite important.
Well, if you've seen the old man, he's about 6'5", and my legs in his car are like that, and for it's not overly comfortable. But listen, when you're out there racing, you don't really think about those things. But to be able to be like fully comfy, it's going to be nice.
See, he's wanting to get in, look, isn't he? He was wanting to get in. He was like,
he's going to be over here in a second. I'm telling you.
I'm going to come on to New Zealand. Is this the first time you've been to New Zealand?
Yeah, first trip over. So I did say to Guy I wanted to go not this year, I wanted to go next year. This was before, but this is actually the week before World Final. So I was just sort of like getting the feelers out there, letting Guy know that I might have wanted to do it, and then obviously winning World Final, it's gave me the opportunity now to go and race a top car out there and try and help Team GB win it, really. So we've
looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I'm a bit anxious because we're going to the other side of the world, and I don't want to let people down.
Yeah.
But that's the only little bit that's playing on my mind. But other than that, no, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to go out there.
Because from what I mean, I've never been, but the racing looks brutal.
Yeah, it does look a bit brutal, but nothing I'm not used to. So.
But the thing is, you go where Frank's going. He's been over here since time began.
Frank knows what he's doing. He's not going to want us to see anyone get hurt. So he'll look after us, tell us what to do, what not to do, and he'll point us in the best direction he can.
Because it is almost a brand new team this year, isn't it? You've got Tesla's going over.
I think in a way that'll probably be good. Yeah. Because me and the Teslas are young. You've got little Ted, and then you've got Big Frank, who's got the most experience, probably out of any of the guys out there as well. So I think if you put everything together and it all comes right, I generally do think we could be a threat. But listen, you never know, dear.
Because every year they seem to come closer and closer, and always like nearly there. But you're clearly doing a very good job.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, like I said, there's the experience there. Unfortunately, we haven't got Lee this year, which might be a bit of a factor. But hey ho, we'll try to fill in for him and just see what we can do. But we got the 240s first, which is the individual bit on the so I land on Thursday and then testing Friday and then racing Saturday. So I think everyone's in quite a good car for that. So that'd be nice even to just see if we can help a GB win that as well. So we'll see what we can do.
Good. Last question. So you're having a new shell car. You got a tarmac car. Dad's going to do a bit more this year?
Possibly. I can't say yes or no because I don't know. He changes his mind all the time. So. Yeah, but no, he's had his car redone, all re-stickered, all repainted, rebarred. So if he wants to race, it's going to be there. But I think my little brother's wanted to do a little bit in minis. He just turned 11 the other day, and I know he went karting, and apparently he was overtaking a few adults the other day. So
so we've got another order on the way through.
Possibly, yeah. He's even worse than what I am. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I can't answer for my dad.
Twice.
I think he'll do the odd King's Lynn and might even go to Bradford, so we'll see what happens.
Charlie, thanks so much for taking time out to talk. Enjoy signing your autograph. You've got a big pile to get through.
Do you want one?
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, that's the only reason why I did the interview, to be fair. Just, sit next to you.
Jonathan.
Yeah, you nearly got it right.
Ish.
Yeah, love. Did you put love, Charlie?
I'm going to do it at the end.
Okay.
Love.
Thank you.